Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a scene. It's got a rowboat in it, got some water, a little hill back here, and let's just hope it turns out well. And if you're ready to get started, let's go. All right, let's get started on our sky. What sky there is. There is not hardly any sky here, so and I also forgot to tell you, this is acrylic paint. I went ahead and put some acrylic down because this is going to take several layers of paint. And it kind of helps me, just to go ahead and get one coat down because it dries real quick. I'm just going to take a little phthalo blue. Like I said, there's virtually nothing here as far as the sky goes. I'm actually using this little brush. I'm not sure what kind of paint it had in it before. I used it on my last painting, so I'm really not sure. But there's just nothing here hardly. I don't normally do boat scenes because I don't paint boats real often. But I thought, what the heck, let's give it a try. One thing I learned is just because you can paint don't mean you can draw. I had a heck of a time with it. Just lighten that up. I must have had some dark color in my brush here, and that's fine. We don't want to leave it like that. A lot of this is, even this part of the sky is going to be covered. Let's make that a little darker too. I'll just rub it out of my brush since it's in there, whatever color it is. Just make it kind of a darker sky. That's about it. All right, let me get a bigger brush or a brush. This is a number 4 round brush. And there's a little hill right there. And I want it dark to start with. I'm going to use black and green. Let's see what's on my brush here. And it's got trees on it. But I'm going to scrub in this color once I get it outlined where I need to be. I'm just outlining it basically right now. Basically all I'm doing, I'm going to scrub all this color in here. Let's bring it up and down. It just lets me know about where I want some of my trees. And I'm going to get a bigger brush and use on that. Let's take some black, some green. I'm going to scrub this in. I'm going to set my paddle down so I can hang on to it. So I got some scrubbing action to do here. I'm scrub. There's a water line right here, very faint. But I want color in here before I put my trees and stuff in. And this whole canvas is dry. There's no liquid white or liquid clear on it. That's why you got to scrub it. So I'm going to scrub all this in. I'm going to keep scrubbing this and I'll come right back. All right, let me show you what I'm doing. This whole back here, this is all going to be pine trees right here. And what I'm doing is I'm just going from green to yellow, green to yellow. What you're trying to do here is just put variation of color in here so it can help define where the pine trees are. Because if I just made this whole thing green like a pine tree, you couldn't tell what it even is. So I'm varying my colors a little bit. See? So you can tell what it is, because there's no way you could tell otherwise. It would look like a big blob of green. And that's not good. When someone has to look at your painting and think, what is that? Well, that's not good. Now when you can look at it and you know what it is, that's good. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just switching. I'm going from yellow to green, back and forth. Maybe with a touch of black every now and then. Matter of fact, speaking of that, let me get me a touch of black. So you can kind of tell what these are. And that's what you're after. This is the quick way to do it. So you're not here for a month putting in pine trees. You know, time is precious nowadays. We gotta do what we can to save time, and this looks perfectly fine doing it this way. To me, someone might say, man, that looks terrible, but you know, everybody's different. This is how I do it, just to save time, basically. And it looks fine. Unless I'm just trying to justify it. No, I think it does look fine. I'm just kidding you. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish that. I just want to show you what I was doing, and then we'll move on. And what I'm doing now is putting in, I got my palette sitting here because I kind of got to hang on to this. I'm putting in some water, and I want it a little darker right here because of the reflection of the mountain. So I'm going to try to lighten it up a little bit right in this area. We actually got a little island that goes right here. It's going to have its own reflections. And this is all dry down here, that's why I have to scrub it. And I'm getting some blue on my boat, and that's okay, because it don't make no difference. I think, see, now that's still wet there on this dock. I just did this a few minutes ago. So around this dock, I might have to be careful. I don't want to drag a bunch of brown. I got a picture up here I'm looking at a little bit. I don't want to drag a bunch of brown into my water, because that wouldn't be good at all. Yeah, I should have done this last night, this acrylic part, but I didn't. You know how it goes. I had a lot to do yesterday. You know how life is. So, oh yeah, let's go ahead and get this. Let me get me some darker color. It's okay to get some green in your water a little bit up in this particular area right here. It's okay. Not going to really hurt much. I think that looks pretty good. See, I think these trees turned out fine. You can tell they're pine trees. That's how I do them, and it seems to be a quick way to do it, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. I like it. I think it looks fine. Let me go ahead, let's see, make sure I ain't got too much green in here. I guess it kind of should be dark right in here anyway, in this area. Let me just go ahead and darken this. It's got to be a lot darker than that, don't it? Not sure I'm darkening it at all. It needs to be pretty dark right here. And as I said, I don't care if I get it on the boat. Actually, in this whole area, this whole side could be dark. Wouldn't hurt nothing. Now around this dock, gotta be a little more careful. I may just have to wait and let this dry a little bit. But in the meantime, I think I'll go ahead and put that island in there. But I'm going to use a smaller brush for that. The old 1 inch. All right. This is a pretty big little island. It's right in here. So let's take some black, some green. Oh, where do we want it? Probably here somewhere. Let me just put something down here and see if this is, yeah, that's probably okay. Black, green, probably more black than green. It's just a little island sitting here. Let's see, I probably am going to have to I'm going to have to put some pine trees on here. So I'm not sure I should even pull reflections right now. So, having said that, let me get my pine tree making utensil out here. I got a little different brush. I about wore the other one out doing that, man. End of the bristles are all frayed up. I almost felt sorry for my brush. If you can believe that. Let's see what color. Yeah, it's okay. Now these pine trees here are going to be taller. Oh, let's do one. Put one here. That's two. Let's put a pretty big one right here. Just for something different. Put a big one there. That's three, and that may be okay. Like I said, try to use odd numbers in painting is what they say. And we're just going to bring this down like we always do. Black and green. Bring it on down. Turn your brush over and get some paint on the other side. Black and green. Yeah, I think that's okay right there. I think that's okay. So now, let's see, I was pulling reflections a while ago. We're going to have a pretty good size one there. Not as big there. A little bigger here. Give me a clean brush. Make sure this thing's clean. Rub it on my arm. Okay. Actually, that don't look like a Christmas tree. Pine tree does. Let's make it a little wider. That one too. This one ain't too bad. Now, yeah, I think that might look a little better. Let me wipe this brush off a second. Have some marks right there I had to get off. Well, I guess maybe we can put a coat of paint on this boat. I'm pretty sure this boat is still a little tacky, but it's not bad. I think I can do something with it. And we'll just put a coat of paint on the boat, then we'll start working on a few other things here. All right, I went ahead and I worked on my boat here a little bit. Now I'm gonna put a little grass right here. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight these pine trees right here and pull these pine trees out a little bit. They're kind of blending in with the background. And I'll see if I can pull them out just a little bit so you can see them a little better. This is pure cad yellow light. I'm just going to run along the side. The sun should be coming down this way today. Actually, I got to set this pallet down. I'll get my paper towels in my hand. Usually this cad yellow light will pull them out so you can see them a lot better. Especially when they're blending in like that. You gotta get quite a bit on your brush though. And I'm starting on the right side obviously and going inward because this paint is mixing. Those trees are really, really, really wet. So it's mixing. And when it mixes, it makes a mess sometimes. And we're just going to keep doing this for a little bit. And this is a good way to pull the trees out so you can see them a little better. At least I hope. All you can do is hope, right? And start up here on this one. Gotta keep wiping your brush after every time, pretty much. Every time you take your brush down, you're gonna have to wipe it. That's really wet right there. So I'm gonna get me a nice chunk of yellow. Just lay it there if I have to. Gotta do what you gotta do, don't you? Stand back and tell you. All right, I've changed my mind about something. I was gonna have just a little bit of tree leaves right here, a few branches, but actually I think I'm gonna put a tree kind of on the side of the painting right here and have a few more branches. I think that would look better. So I'm going to take some burnt umber, some raw umber, and it'll look like this rope is wrapped around. That's my idea anyway. And we're going to start. I'm going to have it be a pretty good sized tree. I'm just kind of making a mark on it to see about where I'm going to want it. And it's going to be somewhere in here, and I want it kind of leaning in a little bit. How wide do we want it? That's a good question. I don't know yet. We're just going to, it's probably going to be about this wide. And it's just going to be, we're going to have some branches sticking, because I want some contrast in this water. I want some branches dipping down into the water a little bit. I mean, give the appearance of it, just because the water's just kind of, it's just there. It needs some action. It needs something else going on. So I'm just going to put a tree here and bring some branches out. I don't know how far to bring the branches out yet. We're probably going to need a big branch. I'm just making marks is really all I'm doing right now. Just so I'll kind of know about where to put it. Of course the branch is going to be a lot bigger than this right here. I'll come back in a second and touch all this stuff up. I'm just getting the ideas. I might need to change my brush, but I want to bring a branch around somewhere in here, and I just want limbs sticking in the water just here. I want to switch this brush just here and there. Anyways, I'm gonna get doing this right here, and I'll be back. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and start. Here's my tree. I'm gonna cover all these blue leaves up. I think I'm gonna make this red, to be quite honest with you, because it would contrast good with the blue water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start highlighting this tree. And I'm gonna set my palette down because I might need two hands on some of this. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it. Start working on the tree and get this part over with. You just got to wipe your brush off. Get some more, and I'm twisting my brush as I'm coming down. You probably can't see my brush, but see all that black on there, or brown from this tree? That's why you twist it on your way down, because you have clean, fresh paint on your brush. If that makes sense. And we're just going to keep working our way down. And I'll hit this right here. Yeah, I think this is a good idea to put this tree here. It looked like the rope is wrapped around the tree. I think it's going to work out for us. I think it'll work out just fine. You know, you can, and actually I'm going to put a little piece of land right here too to fill that in. As you're going along with your paintings, you change your mind sometimes. You see things that need to be somewhere and you do it. And that's the way you should do. Don't be stuck just doing one thing. If you see something needs to change, change it. Don't be hardcore and say, I can't change it. No, don't do that. Change it. This one right here. A little branch there. Little branch there. Yeah, don't think you can't change something, because you can. Especially while you're painting it. Don't wait till a month later when it's all dried on you. Because that's not good. I'll go ahead and bring this on down. Go ahead and hit these branches real quick while I got this in my hand. There's going to be a lot of leaves on here. That's what I'm planning on. Yeah, that'll put some nice color in here. Make this red right here. Let's take a little bit of ochre. Kind of rub it in here and there. Give me a clean paper towel. Take some ochre. We're going to use all kinds of different colors in this tree. Make it look nice. I like to use ochre, brown, burnt sienna, blue, Prussian blue that is. Just all kinds of different colors, just vary it up. And everything in nature has all kinds of different colors. And that's what you should shoot for, using all types of colors. Even red on a tree. I use red sometimes. Let's see, this burnt sienna, let's mix it with some ochre. Show up a little better. But this tree is pretty wet, so we'll keep working on it. Keep working till we like it. And I'll probably have to go over this white again by the time it's all said and done. Let me take a little white. Let's see what a little white will do. Smear some here and there. Give it the appearance of texture. If I can get it to do it. Make it look a little rough. Trees ain't always smooth and pretty. Sometimes they're rough looking. And I'll wind up taking some Prussian blue and going down the back side there. I like how that looks on a tree. All right, I changed my mind about something. I actually did. I put some red leaves up here to see what they would look like. Don't do it. They look terrible. I can't go that route. So this is just going to be a regular leaf tree, and I think I'm going to make this a nice red bush to put some pop in the painting. Got to have some kind of pop in it. And these are just going to be. This is just going to be normal. Just your normal trees here. Let me set my palette down. I'm going to have to wipe this off every time I use it because it's picking up black, because I just done that a few minutes ago. Just some green and some yellow. Probably just a touch more yellow than the green. Picking up a lot of black. This is more like a mid-tone color right here that I'm doing. It does kind of blend in with the background. That's what I was trying to avoid, but I'm going to hopefully put a pretty strong highlight on it to make it pretty, you can see easily what it is. That's really the thing. You got to be able to tell what it is. I just don't like colors blending so easily, but sometimes it can't be helped. I mean, nature's nature. If this is a green tree and it's green back here, there's not a lot you can do about it. Trying to pull some forms out of this tree. And what I mean is making it kind of bushy in certain areas. Certain areas not so bushy. Sun's coming down this way, so the highlight side will be our right side today. I'll just put a little bit there. Now, let me get me a little cleaner brush. This is going to be pure yellow. And let's see if we can, this is cad yellow light. You got to kind of wipe your brush off every time. Picking up all these collars under it. I'll try to make these highlights as profound as I can so you can easily tell. I'm gonna have to hit that one more time right there. I don't like it blending with the background, but like I said, I mean, you can't help it sometimes. That's just the way she goes. It's the way the old cookie crumbles, so to speak. Let's see something here. Wipe your brush off. Let's try one right in here. That don't look too bad. All you can do is do your best. That's all you can do. If you try your best, you've succeeded. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. If you give it your all, you've succeeded. Now, for our red bush, and I believe we might be about finished once we do our red bush. I have my real bright cad red light here. And I'm going to put it on this brush. This brush had a little green on it, I believe, just a second ago. I want it nice and bright. Okay, let's take a little touch of white. Grab my palette here so I can find some clean white. This white here is not the cleanest. Try to find me a spot here that has something in it that's kind of clean. I just want to touch it just a little bit, not much. I think that'll do it. All right, looks like we're finished. Well, we got a red bush put in here, and I threw in a little something extra for you just for fun. I thought that'd be fun to throw in there. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.